Hi everybody, welcome to Paper Wishes weekly webisodes. I'm Lene Gehrig, and today from our friends at Hunkydory Crafts, I have two Moonstone cutting die sets that are amazing. We have terrific tractor and trailer, and also sheriff's hat and boots, so cute. Here's one where Debbie used the tractor trailer. What a cute card. She made a little scene with the picket fence. Love, love, love. This is our giveaway card for this episode, so if you stick around, you'll learn how one lucky viewer can win this card to keep or share with a friend. So come play with us. All right, so as you can see, the cute little tractor trailer comes with the picket fence here and adorable 3 pieces. And what Debbie did with her 6.5 by 5 inch card, first she used for her background paper, she covered the card using some really beautiful wood grain paper from Sunflower's 12 by 12 patterned cardstock. So beautiful. She used this one right here. Love it. And then she used the coordinating cardstock. So cute to use to die cut the tractor and the trailer. So first off, she has this beautiful border down here of all the flowers, and she die cut the fence 3 different times and then inked the edges of that with a little velvet fawn, and then also she used cocoa bean ink pads as well. And she loves to use her daubers, so those little finger daubers, sponge daubers, are fun to use to get to color. Little along the edge of this gray paper, she used the velvet fawn there as well. So for this one, you would cut out the tractor trailer 3 separate times, or the tractor, first from red, then from gray, and then from brown. And then you would just use your tiny scissors and you would sort of just cut those pieces apart. Now what's great about this cutting die is it makes it really easy to cut them apart. They're meant to paper piece, so they have a lot of little slits and things in them and just make them come apart really easily. So this one, she cut it from yellow, and then from that tan color, and then from the brown as well. Cut those out with the scissors and then just paper piece them. Now we like using the small detailed fine tip bottle when gluing the small pieces and filling that with Cosmic Shimmer glue, our favorite glue. But we can also recommend using the glue press. This is by My Sweet Petunia, and it has Nuvo brand glue. It already comes with that, and it has this great fine tip, which is amazing to use. I always try to put this back on when I'm in a hurry. Forget it, I'll do it later. All right, the other thing she used was this fantastic, these are big greetings dazzle stickers, and we love that they have a lot of kind of swoop and swirl to them, really fun. And she used Wishing You Sunshine, which is appropriate for the card. So how do we do our giveaway? Our giveaway works like this. We're trying to promote our Paper Wishes YouTube channel. So if you're watching us on our webisode page, we ask that you expand the screen, and then you'll see a link right down there, a little icon that says YouTube, and head on over to Paper Wishes YouTube channel. We ask that you subscribe and that you like this video with a thumbs up, and then leave us a comment. And then after about a week, we'll reply, congratulations, YouTube username blank. We'll choose one viewer's username and use that. That's how we identify you. So you do have to know your username. It's what pops up when you leave a greeting, okay? Or not. It's the name that pops up when you leave a comment. And then we'll give you instructions on how to claim your card, and we'll send it to you in some Happy Mail. And we do this every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday videos, so there's 3 chances a week for you to win. So I hope you participate in the giveaway. All right, so let's take another look at what you can do with this cute tractor. How John Deere is that? That is adorable. Look at that, so cute. Debbie made this one using our Gnomes and More Gnomes patterned cardstock. So cute. She used this little blue dot paper right here, and then on the other side of the cutout one here, no, this one, the yellow one, is this beautiful white background with the beautiful butterflies and all the botanicals. She used that. Of course, she folded her card, scored it. So this is a 5 by 6.5 inch card. She scored it 2.5 inches and then just folded this part back. And then covering those panels with that dot paper is so cute. You could tell she inked the edges here all the way around using applicator tool and then also Prussian blue. And we like using this applicator tool, but you could use your favorite if you like brushes. That's great too. All right, so then on the back here, she added the coordinating cutting dies. So cute right here. And then for all the little die cut pieces, she used the coordinating solid cardstock. All right, now let's talk about the tractor. Once again, she cut it from green, from yellow, and then from black. All right, then use the scissors to paper piece that. She attached it to just this side. When she glued all the pieces together, she put foam tape under there. So it gave it a little bit of a lift. Foam tape here along the roof and that wheel, and that secured that. Right here added one of those little greetings. See how it extends off? So it's kind of hiding the cute little gnome, so he's a little surprised when you open it up. Very cute. And then here, just cutting a 2-inch strip by 1-inch strip of the denim paper that comes with the collection, and inking the edges of that, cutting a little dovetail notch in one end, gluing that, and then using some of the little flowers from the coordinating chipboard. Aren't these gnomes adorable? And the mushrooms. And for coloring that, she used light green tri-blend marker, also coral, and then light yellow to color those. Glued that in. And then on the inside, for the little tractor trailer, you guys, this little pumpkins and the leaves, where did those come from? Well, she took another cutting die from hot off the press. This one's called strawberry pumpkin card cutting dies, and it makes this cute little basket or bushel of either strawberries or pumpkins. And she used the little pumpkin and the little leaf for that. How cute to add that in. Die cut that from orange from the paper pack here, and then ink that with a little bit of velvet fawn ink, and also the leaves with khaki. And then just foam taped and glued those in. I think that is just such a cute little touch. Good job, Debbie. All right, so let's check out the boot cutting die. So you get on this one, you're getting the tall boot, the hat, and that sheriff's badge. So cute. And then this is what Debbie used. Look at this card. This is a slimline, oops, open it up, tent fold card. Oh, it's not, it's a slimline regular card. Sorry about that. So that makes that 8.5 by 3.5 inches wide. And for her background paper, Debbie used 6 by 6 romantic florals. She took a 6 by 6 paper right here and glued it here, but then she had some left over because it's 6 inches and the card is 8.5 inches. So she just paper pieced that in with this really pretty green floral paper at the top and the bottom. She matted this 6 by 6 paper, or rather 6 by 3.5, with some coordinating solid cardstock before gluing that down. This here is a little die cut greeting that matches the collection. So cute. And then she used the solid cardstock and also some glamorous gold for just sort of paper piecing her cute little cowboy hat. So the cowboy die comes like this, and then she put a little scrap of gold on there and just ran it through the machine again. You don't need to cut the whole hat. You could just put a little strip right here, and it will cut and emboss that small piece. Cut out around that, just kind of evacuating that from the rest of the hat and gluing that there. And then she inked the edges with cocoa bean ink, okay, using an applicator tool. This one got foam taped. It's overlapping the corner a little bit, which is nice. And then, of course, the sheriff's badge is just the metallic gold. And then the boot, you guys, so cute. She cut this from brown cardstock, but then she also used, in this collection, is this fantastic sort of scripty tan paper. It kind of looks like ostrich or something like this. It's so cool. She die cut that boot again from this, and then you just die cut that and then cut around that with your scissors. And then she glued that to the boot, the brown boot, and then backed that piece with some gold. So that is one fancy boot. I love that. And then inked the edges of that and foam taped that as well. That is a fantastic card. Maybe we can zoom out a little bit. There we go. All right, so for this last one, I wanted to make a boot card too. So for mine, I'm using, I'm gonna build it with you guys, Golden Botanical 12 by 12 pattern cardstock, okay? And then I'm also using the solid cardstock because I'm going to be cutting out some botanicals using the cutting die set, which is amazing. All right, and then for my boots, you guys, I used suede paper, and I used mocha, which is a nice dark brown. If you're not familiar with our suede paper, it's fabric on one side, feels just like real suede, and then on the other side, it's paper. It die cuts beautifully, it embosses, really just gorgeous. So you could see on here, now this is very dark with the dark background, but it embossed all the little places that it's supposed to, so cute. And then because these little swirls are evacuated, I just used some of the lighter yellow, this one right here, and just backed the boot with that and put some foam tape on it. But you can see here how I just backed those. Okay, and so what we're gonna do is just gonna build this little card right here. All right, so this is a 5 by 6.5 inch card. The first thing I did was cover it with, I had some scrap left over from this piece right here on this paper. So I just covered the entire card with that. And then this really beautiful green has kind of like grass and wheat and things like that, things you'd find in a field. And so I'm going to put this one right here, and eventually we'll glue this one down. And then this one I already have foam tape on, and we're gonna kind of overlap it just like that. But before we do, I'm gonna add some Dazzle stickers. So these are gold thin line Dazzle stickers, which are just really fun to use. So I'm gonna take this one, peel that right off. I'm going to put that on this side, but I'm only going to put it on the green. Okay, and it's a little too far over, so we're just going to lift it up and place it back down. There we go. And this is how I always do these, where I like put them on when I'm just about done with the card. So there's one border right there. And then, oops, I got to get rid of that sticker. And then we'll do another one. I was thinking kind of a rickrack one would be fun. We'll put that over here on this side. There we go. And I'm not pulling on those borders at all. I'm just sort of keeping them kind of taut so they lay straight. And then I'm just trimming that right there. All right, and so now I'm gonna go ahead and glue this one down, but I'm gonna keep the top part of the boot open because I die cut some botanicals and I wanna make sure to leave space to add those in. So I'm just going to glue it this far. Okay, we've got that one. And then this one. This one I put the foam tape on a little high, so let's take a look at the botanicals before I glue that one down. So we've got all these little pieces, whoop, that I die cut like this, and I'm pretty much just working with these, which I'm like, is that Queen Anne's lace? I think it is. Yeah, Queen Anne's lace, and then these little leaves, and I just thought Queen Anne's lace would be so pretty to add. And they have, you know, green stems and then the white tops. So what I ended up doing was just taking, where's my craft mat? Here we go. Taking my craft mat, taking just a scrap of paper, and then using khaki ink and just my applicator. And then you're just going to apply this ink, kind of pounce it like that. And you can go over the entire thing like that, and then move over to this side like that, and that way you've got that Queen Anne's lace, the white on the top, okay, and the green stems, and you don't have to cut off everything and try to paper piece that. All right, so now I'm just going to go ahead, I'm going to remove most of that stem because it's going to be too tall, and I'm just going to use my tiny little bottle And I don't try to glue the whole thing down. I'm tacking just a little bit on the stem and then the top edge of the Queen Anne's lace. And we're just going to put that right like this. And then we've got another piece that's kind of slightly bigger. So I used this piece and then these two pieces right here. And remove that one. And I just want it to look like there's a cute bouquet coming out from the boots. And I bet all the cowgirls out there get it. They're like, oh, that would be fun. All right, there's that one. And then I've got this one right here. Once again, I'm going to remove the bottom part of that stem. And where did my boot go? I found it. It was stuck to the craft mat. All right, so for this one, I want to go ahead and put it here because I put my foam tape up a little high, but we still need to add some there. All right, we're going to put that just like that. Cute. And then we've got these little pieces right here that can just sort of come out. And for these, I've just taken that same khaki green ink and my little applicator, and I've just put a little bit on the stem, on the leaves. All right, and then this, we can just have them come out just like this. Cute. And then another one on this side, and then we're almost done. All right, this one can go like right there. Cute. And then this final one, I think we just need a little sprig. I'm going to trim it down to go right in the middle. Just a little bit like flower arranging. There. Oops, big glob of glue on there. All right, and then from there, I've got the coordinating die cuts. Which, did I grab those? Anyway, you'll have to take my word for it. These are the coordinating die cuts. We're going to put that one right there. And then we can just add this last piece there. And I'm just tucking this just slightly under that foam taped boot. And then we're just going to glue this one down right there. Didn't quite get enough glue on the end. There we go. All right, so there is my country girl bouquet coming from the boots, which I think is fun. So you guys, as you can see, I think this has a lot of possibilities. If you know cowgirls or cowgirls that in their heart only, if you know 4-H girls, if you know guys that would love this as well, I think this is such a fantastic collection. And we have a great money saver on these cutting dies. Just look right over there on the right-hand side of your screen if you're watching us on our Paper Wishes webisode page. And then everything is listed down below the video as well if you want to be reminded about which metallic gold paper pack we used. We have that. If you're watching us over on YouTube, hello, please subscribe to our channel. It helps people find our small company. We would really appreciate that. And there is a link below the video in the description box that'll take you to this Paper Wishes webisode page so you can see all the cards, all the supplies, and take advantage of that money saver. Thanks for joining me today, and I'll see you in the next one.